Hi, beloved and intrepid viewers. Well, the clock's ticking, but I've been warning for quite some time. Don't hold your breath on the Mueller stuff. It will eventually come out. I'd imagine he's having deep and meaningfuls with Barr about this, because my take on Barr, he mightn't be the nicest guy in the world, but this is the biggest thing in modern American history. I don't think he wants to go down as, the total treasonous tool who stopped it going out. But let's think of it through their eyes for a moment. They've got to be very careful how they release this. It's all very well for all of us to jump up and down and go, we, the public, want to know. But if it does contain all these bombshells, particularly about GOP operatives, meaning members of the Senate and so forth, they've got to be very careful how they do this. So be patient. It will come to pass. Okay. In the meantime, North Carolina has found out it had crooked elections, and they're going to hold them again. And pat on the back for North Carolina. Now the other 49 states just have to get their act together, Excuse me a moment, my flatmate is walking through. There we go. See you. So I think that's a really positive step. Georgia needs to get its act together. Florida certainly is a complete bastard case. I meant to say basket and I said bastard. Wow. Freudian slip. Probably both of those. So, the Electoral College, Michael Moore said in a recent interview, the Electoral College has robbed America twice, if not three times, of presidential elections, starting with Gore, and certainly Hillary. Things may have been very different if Gore had got in all those years ago now. Something might have been done about the environment, who knows. But please, America, don't feel you're alone. We are very busy in Australia sticking our heads in the sand about climate change. Lots of countries are not handling it well and missing the boat. We should be pumping money into research and development. We should be encouraging green jobs at every turn and shifting the economy towards that. But we're not picking up on the lessons any better than America is at this point. So today, there's so much, and I've had so many requests. So I've decided to look in a bit on Putin, who'd have to be very happy, wouldn't he, really? Mission accomplished for Putin. And I want to have a quick look at Lindsey Graham as well. So let's start with Putin. He gets the Thoth deck. It's a fun deck to read for nasty people. So let us see what's going on in Putin's world. I might do a past, present, future for this. Let's have a look. Putin. Vladimir. What's going on for Vladimir? All right. Ooh. Ooh. He gets the tower first off, viewers. Oh, didn't expect that. Oh, okay. All right. Now, I was being a bit off the cuff there when I was saying mission accomplished, because we've got to view these cards in relation to what did he set out to do, destabilize the American elections and stuff, tick. to get Trump to destroy the allies and the relationship, the nexus between the US and the European allies, tick. But as I've said before in a Putin reading, I think the Tower for him relates to his domestic situation. He's the ultimate authoritarian figure who wants to distract the public, the Russian public, from what he's doing. So all these external things like Crimea, like Ukraine, like NATO, all of this is saying to the Russian people, don't worry if you haven't got a job, don't worry if you're struggling in every way, because we are going to be great again. This is his fantasy is really being challenged. Well, not a fantasy, it's what he's worked towards very studiously. All right. Now, he's got here, in the immediate past, a lot of Wands energy. Things have changed quickly for him. I think what has happened for him is it's possible young Russians are beginning to see what's happening in the rest of the world and are beginning to doubt him. And that's why he's talking about closing the internet. He's trying to do a China and close the internet to stop the swift changes. I think swift changes are coming to Russia generally. All right. Global youth culture is exactly that, global youth culture. Young people are coming through who are not swallowing the stories their parents were told. He also gets the Ten of Wands of oppression. I think it's a two-way street for Vladimir. I think he is, well, I don't think we all know, he's an oppressive person. He keeps a very tight ship and squashes all opposition. He's quite happy to kill journalists. He's quite happy to detain and torture any opposition. He's old school. He doesn't have to worry about constraints like the torture acts or anything. But I think he's also feeling a bit oppressed himself. Currently, he gets the Three of Pentacles, the group work card, or in the Thoth deck, works. What is in the works? He has successfully got very powerful men, all the oligarchs on his side. You give me money, I'll make sure you make money, we'll all make money, and we'll manage to control the courts and control the media and all fine. Then he gets the Queen of Cups. Emotional. It's a very emotional card. I'm beginning to think he's second-guessing himself. I think also we can't look further than the Three of Pentacles also for his deals with Americans. Michael Flynn has a lot to answer for, doesn't he, viewers? Because he's got that nice, benign face, you keep thinking, oh, well, maybe he just sort of went off the rails for a while now. He is an A-grade traitor. He has betrayed the nation again and again, and we're talking possible nuclear secrets here. Why am I going to Flynn? I think, here's what I think. Putin in and of himself doesn't lose sleep at night over the Mueller report. He doesn't have to. Any of his operatives can be brought back to Russia and kept safe. But there are a lot of them out there. It's not just Flynn, and it's not just dopes like Papadopoulos. It's those lawmakers who went over and so forth. He's not worried about them. I think he's more worried by the Maria Butina story. I don't think he thought that would get as out of control as it did. And I think she's given up some of our other operatives. That's what I think he's worried about. Coming up for Vladimir, he gets the Moon, lies and deceit. he gets the lovers, not necessarily romantic, but deals, sweetheart deals. So lies and deceit about the deals. Is he the one who's deceiving others, or is he being deceived? I'll do a clarifier in a moment. But he's withdrawn, coming up, the hermit. He's paranoid anyway. Russian commentators, Westerners who commentate on Russia, have said he's notoriously paranoid. For his own inauguration, he shut down the city of Moscow. He actually shut the whole city, or was it Leningrad? Whatever city he was inaugurated in, it has 12 million people, and he forbade them all to come. And if you look at the aerial footage of Vladimir Putin's inauguration, there's his convoy of cars, and there is not a living human in a radius of God knows how far. So he's very paranoid. He's getting more paranoid. So who's deceiving who with Putin and the deals? Oh, the star, someone who is not, it's not him, it's someone he trusts, someone who is massively well known in the nation. Oh, that's interesting. It's like a famous Russian person, probably a woman, who is working against him. Oh, that's very interesting. Oh, look out, Vladimir. I wonder who that is. So it could be someone who's very urbane and sophisticated and mixes in the Western world and speaks several languages, but has towed the party line until now. I think there's going to be a Russian woman, to sum this up, who's going to spill the beans on Putin to the West. Oh, we'll have to keep an eye out for that. Okay. So one of my favourite characters in this whole bizarre charade has been Lindsey Graham. Right. So regular intrepid viewers will know it's our little in-joke to call him Lindsey, Queen of Swords. Graham, I believe, that he is being blackmailed. And I think we all know what the blackmail would be about, do we not? Those more perceptive viewers. So is he? It's fine for me to sit in Australia and think he's being blackmailed, but is he? What else explains this truly surreal behaviour? And he keeps flip-flopping in unexpected ways. So he was anti-Trump and then he was pro-Trump. He's now pro-national emergency, even if kids don't get schools. But he's really hostile to withdrawing troops from Syria. So he backs Trump's Russian agenda. And let's call a spade, viewers. Trump's agenda is Putin's agenda. He's just done it. The stuff with NATO, you cannot pretend it's anything else than pushing Putin's agenda, the withdrawal of troops, US troops, from Syria and the Middle East more generally, Putin's agenda. So, Lindsey Graham, I don't get it. It's like his last vestige of being a patriotic American comes out in terms of the foreign policy, but not the domestic policy. So, what's going on for Lindsey? God, he's busy. Dear. Oh dear, Lindsey, what are you up to? Excuse me. Well, I don't know that he's being blackmailed. I'd expect to see the Page of Swords. I'd expect to see the Moon card and so forth if he was. So I think it's the fear of being blackmailed that's worrying him. Okay, in the middle he gets the Knight of Wands. It's like, don't look behind me, don't look at my secrets, look at what I'm doing and saying. Underneath that, also, this is borne out with the Prince of Swords. He doesn't get the Queen of Swords in this, he gets the Prince of Swords. In other words, it's the more masculine identity of Lindsey Graham going forth and being aggressive. It's like, it's hard, if you look at this card, viewers, see these other figures are trying to balance the fury of this. Lindsey Graham is very angry. This is an angry card, an aggressive. This is an angry and aggressive card. So what's behind that? The Hierophant, government, law and order. Okay, I think he's very worried about being found out in relate. Does he get NRA money? Can viewers let me know, please? He's worried about being scooped up in the Mueller investigation. I think more so. I thought it might be more Russia have stuff on him, but I think he's more worried about being caught up with the Mueller investigation. On top, he gets the Three of Wands, commerce and trade over the water. This then says maybe it's both. And the reason I think it's both, and that he's in deep, deep trouble, is I think there is Russian stuff and I think there's personal stuff. So I think he's compromised from within and without. He gets the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords, this is not good. It's also got the Christian cross in the middle. He's in the sort of Baptist heartland, the evangelical heartland, the conservative Christian heartland, and he and they are being pierced on all sides with this. It's the morality, the hypocrisy, the attacks on Planned Parenthood, all of that. But in the case of Lindsey Graham, this is the essence of his personal pain and his personal compromise. Dirty money. Dirty money. In a way, I'm almost sad. I quite like Lindsey. I don't know why. Because he can be an almighty, awful, awful, awful person and a power for destruction. And I think he's just literally going to the dark side. It's not looking good for Lindsey in any way. I was hoping he was going to sort of finally, with William Barr at the helm, maybe have a mea culpa moment and say, I've come to grips with being gay and I'm actually going to become a Democrat. I mean, it's never too late, Lindsey. Never too late. But I think he's going to stay a confirmed bachelor in the closet until he's exposed. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, before I go, Cohen, Captain America, he only really wants to be completely honest for the American people. That's his motivation. I don't believe that for 1 minute, you snivelling, gutless, bullying turkey. You've been found out and you're grovelling. Spare me. I can't bear that stuff. However, the secrets he has on Trump, and every aspect of Trump's stuff, so many things. So we just want to know the juicy bits, don't we? What's some of the juicy bits? Some of the juicy bits that Cohen's going to unveil. All right. Well, big cards, big cards, big cards. Two major arcanas here, viewers. Bear in mind, 78 cards in a tarot deck, only 22 are major arcana. They're the big things. In a 5-card spread, he's got 2 of them. Okay, in the middle, Prince of Discs, Prince of Pentacles. This is Cohen as he sees himself, you know, the new converted Cohen who only wants to do right by America and his family. Yeah, right. Okay, he's got a lot of groveling to do, but look, this is what he's trying to do. He's being led by the bull. He knows he has no choice now. He's naked in the sense of his number's up. He has been called out on all of this. And I shouldn't be such a sarcastic, cynical old bag, really. I think part of him wants to make it right. I'm not really feeling it, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt with this card, right? I think several things happened all at once when his world exploded. So he looked to Trump, and Trump just tore his fingers off the lifeboat and pushed him into the ocean. And that was when Cohen turned. Right. So, yes, 80% of it is self-preservation, but I think there's 20%, I'm trying to be generous, that really thinks, you know what, over and above trying to get myself a lesser sentence, people do deserve to know what a seriously bent bastard Trump is, what a truly nasty guy is. And I can tell you how nasty he is because I was the nasty guy who did his nasty work. So there is a bit of honesty coming through belatedly in his life. So we'll see how that plays out, particularly after his 3 years, you know. So we'll see. Okay, behind this, the card of power, the 4 of Pentacles, that was that abuse of power. It's getting late in this video, so I'll sprint on. Underneath, this is really interesting. Yes, it's a strength card. Yes, it's about getting on top of our animal instincts. But it's called lust in the Thoth deck. And there is sort of a decadent angle to it, obviously. But you know what? I think when all's said and done, he is going to dish the dirt on Trump org, on taxes, on all of the financial stuff, but this speaks to the women again. This speaks to the Stormy Daniels, Karen McDougal stuff, that's what's really going to bring Trump undone. So I'm not the only reader to say this, a woman or women bringing Trump undone, and this is not, I suggest, a female judge. Often they come up, no, this is the sexual stuff. And there's more that we don't know yet. On top, he has the Knight of Discs, or the Knight of Pentacles. This was him as a mercenary. He was absolutely a mercenary, and he can't undo that greed, that drive for money in any way that rocked his boat all those years, who have paid for his kids' education and so forth. Really, you know, I'm sorry, they shouldn't be allowed to keep all these assets. Very sorry, but no. Lucky I'm not a judge. but that was his warhorse mentality. He's moved from warhorse into, I'm so sorry, America. Outcome's not good. The outcome is the death card. So when I say not good, I mean not good, but things are not absolute, which is why all these things are so hard to read on. It could be that it all becomes too much for him. 3 years jail, and he might just leave the wife and kids a note, sorry. I won't go any further into that option. It could be that. Alternatively, death and rebirth. His metamorphosis could really change. If he has a good rabbi, and it would seem to me the rabbis are going to be very busy running in and out of jails in the next sort of 3 to 5 years in many capacities, he could have a religious conversion. Not conversion from Judaism, I mean really seeing the responsibility for what he did really deeply. It could really, really be a genuine and total outcome. So I'm going to appeal to my higher self and to your higher selves. Let's hope that's the outcome for Cohen. All right, plenty to be going on with. Go North Carolina. Bye for now.